Hare Krishna. Thank you for again joining us for our evening katha here in Sri Vrindavan Dham. We hope you realize we switched to a new time. To now it's starting at 6 o'clock because it's getting hotter and hotter. Yesterday our phone overheated twice. Hopefully nothing will happen today. Let's see. And we hope that you're all safe and increasing your bhajan and increasing your hearing and chanting. And we're all very happily locked in here with Krishna and Balaram and studying more and writing our third volume of Braj Leela, all about Govardhan. So today we're going to take you to two Sarovars, Prem Sarovar and Maan Sarovar. So today we're going to sing, we sang a couple of days before, very old ancient Brijbasi song that everybody knows. This time we'll do it in a very sweet classical melody that I learned from a devotee in Nepal. Jaya Madhava Madana Murari, Jaya Keshava Kali Malahari, Jaya Madhava Madana Murari, Jaya Keshava Kali Malahari. Radhe Shyam Shama Shyam, Radhe Shyam Jai Shama Shyam, Radhe Shyam Shama Shyam, Radhe Shyam Jai Shama Shyam, Jai Madhava Madana Murari, Jaya Keshava Kali Malahari. Sundara Kundala Naina Vishala, Sundara Kundala Naina Vishala, Kalle Choe Baijanti Mala, Galle Choe Baijanti Mala, Yachabiki Balihari, Yachabiki Balihari, Yachabiki Balihari, Yachabiki Balihari. Jai Madhava Madana Murari, Jai Keshava Kali Malahari. Kabu luta luta dari kaya, Kali kau luta luta dari kaya, Kabu madhuvana rasa rajaya, Kabu madhuvana rasa rajaya. Nachata Vipina Bihari, Nachata Vipina Bihari, Nachata Vipina Bihari, Nachata Vipina Bihari. Jai Madhava Madana Murari, Jaya Keshava Kali Malahari, Jai Madhava Madana Murari, Jai Keshava Kali Malahari. Radhe Shyam Shama Shyam, Radhe Shyam Jai Shama Shyam, Radhe Shyam Shama Shyam, Radhe Shyam Jai Shama Shyam. Jai Madhava Madana Murari, Jaya Keshava Kali Malahari. Walla Balla Sangha Denu Charai, Walla Sangha Denu Jaino Charai, Vanna Vanna Brahmata Fire Yadurai, Vanna Vanna Brahmata Fire Yadurai, Khande Kamara Kari, Khande Kamara Kari, Khande Kamara Kari, Khande Kamara Kari. Jai Madhava Madana Murari, Jaya Keshava Kali Malahari. Chura Chura Navanita Jokayo, Chura chura navanita jokayo. Vrajavanitan be namadadayo. Vrajavanitan be namadadayo. Bakana chora murari. Makana chora murari. Makana chora murari. Makana chora murari. Jai Madhava Madana Murari. Jai Keshava Kali Malahari. Jai Madhava Madana Murari. Jai Keshava Kali Malahari. Radhe Shyam Shama Sham. Radhe Shyam Jai Shama Sham. Radhe Shyam Shama Sham. Radhe Shyam Jai Shama Sham. Jai Madhava Madana Murari. Jai Keshava Kali Malahari. Ekadina Manindra Komaryo. Ekadina Manindra Komaryo. Nakupa Govardhana Dayo. Nakupa Govardhana Dayo. Namaparyo Giridhari. Namaparyo Giridhari. Namaparyo Giridhari. Namaparyo Giridhari. Jai Madhava Madana Murari. Jai Keshava Kali Malahari. Duryodhana ka Bhogana kayo. Duryodhana ka Bhogana kayo. Ruko Sagvi Durga kayo. Ruko Sagvi Durga kayo. Niraki Rahon Aise Prema Pujari. Aise Prema Pujari. Aise Prema Pujari. Aise Prema Pujari. Jai Madhava Madana Murari. Jai Keshava Kali Malahari. Jai Madhava Madana Murari. Jai Keshava Kali Malahari. Radhe Shyam Shama Sham. Radhe Shyam Jai Shama Sham. Radhe Shyam Shama Sham. Radhe Shyam Jai Shama. Jai Madhava Madana Murari. Jai Keshava Kali Malahari. Jai Madhava Madana Murari. Jai Keshava Kali Malahari. Jai Jai Sri Radhe Shyam. So I hope you enjoyed this new melody. I love it very much. Anyway, again, we welcome you all to our evening katha. We again hope that you're all safe. We pray that everybody in the world is safe and that you're increasing your bhajan and hearing and chanting in this incredible time. Today, of course, we've changed the time to 6 o'clock. It was getting hotter and hotter, so yesterday our phone overheated and stopped broadcasting. So if it does that again today, we'll see what to do. But that's what happens if suddenly you stop seeing us online and the phone is overheated. So this is a very beautiful Brishbasi song, one of my favorite lines, because it's a very important lesson to be learned. It's a Duryodhanaka Bhoga na Kayo. One time Krishna, he became the dut, the messenger for the Pandavas. Because Krishna is so kind, he becomes the servant of his devotees. Dut means that's a very, very low position. But for the Pandavas, he loved them so much, he became their messenger. And he went to see Duryodhana to try to broker a peace deal. Because Krishna wanted to show that although sometimes violence is necessary, it should only be the last resort. we have to try every way possible to avoid violence. Only in the end do we actually use violence. So Krishna wanted to avoid violence. So he made a deal with Duryodhana, or he offered a deal to Duryodhana, that they're Kshatriyas, they have to rule something. So you give them 5 villages, you can take the whole rest of the kingdom. Very generous peace deal. You give them 5 villages, you take the whole rest of the kingdom. But Duryodhana, he was so dust, so evil, he said, I won't give them even the amount of land that will fit under the point of a needle. So Krishna's peacemaking failed. Now there's no other recourse. So naturally he's come to Duryodhana's palace, so Duryodhana must have made a nice feast. We can just imagine the feast of Duryodhana. We have seen kajus and raisins in the halava and the sweet rice. He had it even in the sabjis. We have seen silver on top of the burfi. He had gold on top of the burfi. We can't even imagine the feast. Your mouth is watering, But Duryodhana bhoga na khayo. Krishna said, you're not friendly to my devotees, therefore I'm not going to take your meal. The Prabhu said we should not eat anywhere and everywhere, only at the house of a Vaishnava, one who's favorable to the Vaishnavas. So I'm not going to take your meal. Duryodhana bhoga na khayo. He didn't eat. Where did he go? He went to Vidura's house. Now Vidura, he knows Krishna has gone to see Duryodhana. There'll be a big feast. He'll take a big feast. After feast, and what happens? We sleep. He'll sleep for some time. So Vidura didn't go home. He went to see some friend. But Devakinandan, he went directly to to Vidura's house. But Vidura's not there. Who's there? Bidurani. And he's got a very, very humble abode. He's very poor Brahmin. So there was knock at the door, and Bidurani opened the door. She saw Devakinandan himself is standing there. Now what to do? And my Pati Dev is not here. She became completely flustered. What to do? In Duryodhana's palace, you have nice cushions as soft as the foam of milk to sit on. All she had was a straw mat, but more opulent than most of our temples. All we have is some synthetic plastic mat. She was more opulent. At least real straw was there. And she ran to the kitchen. Only thing there is bananas. Kela. Now, I don't know if you understand, but banana is like a cheap fruit. Anybody has bananas. It's not something big. It's a simple fruit. Every day we see the ladies with their little thalis with banana and agarbatti and kumkum going to their favorite temples in Vrindavan. The banana is a cheapo thing. For us it is. But I remember I was temple president when the Russians came here for the first time. 50 Russians came. Their Sikhs practically stood up. Banana, mango, papaya. Of course nowadays Russia's a different place, but those days they were just banana. Wow. That was a big deal for them. It's not a big deal for us. So she got more nervous. All she had is some cheapo bananas. So she came in, she peeled the banana, she threw away the fruit, and she gave the peel to Devakinandan. And Krishna was eating the peel. Ruko sagvi durgar khayo. He was eating the peel. And Vidurani, she's peeling another, throwing the fruit. She's so nervous, she gave the peel. Krishna's eating. Then Vidura came home. He saw what was going on. Are Murkstri, foolish woman, what are you doing? And Krishna said, Vidura, you be quiet, chup. I don't know what she's feeding me, but I have never tasted anything so nice. Because Vidurani is serving with love. The verse says, Aisa Prema Pujari. If you want to do the puja of Krishna, then you have to do it with love. He's not interested in our things, he's interested in our love. He's not after our things, he's interested in love. So I say, Prema Pujari Radhe Sham Shama Sham. So, yesterday we went to, we stopped at Sanket Van, so today we'll begin from there. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Adadanastanandandai Vridam Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Padambujo Dulisyam Janma Janmani Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakalpatrubhishta Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. So yesterday we saw the Sanket, where the gopis send Sanket, signals back and forth. And we saw the beautiful Sanket Bihari, Radha Sanket Bihari, beautiful tall deities with Gornitai. And we went to the ancient 500-year-old Radharaman temple. So a little further down the road, we come to Prem Sarovar. And here we have very beautiful kund, looks like 8-petal lotus flower. There's, I don't know what else to call them, but there's 8 little piers that run into the kund with a little spot on the end. So it's like, so it makes 8 divisions, like 8-petal lotus. And the government has fixed it up. And nice little chhatris, little dome-like structures on the end of each pier. Very beautiful place. And now they've cleaned the water. It used to be, we used to think twice before taking a bath. Now it's very nice water is there. This is Prem Sarovar. This is where one of the very last Leelas of Braj took place. So what happened was Radha and Krishna were sitting there talking together. Meanwhile, the king of the bumblebees, he perceived this very wonderful fragrance. And he began following it to the bees. From very far away, they can smell things. He began to follow that fragrance. There was a beautiful covered kunj-like path. He flew into the little kunj-like path way down this little kunj tunnel, we can say. And he came out at Prem Sarovar. And he went over to Srimati Radharani. And that wonderful fragrance was emanating from her mouth. Her breath was so sweet. He began buzzing around Radharani's mouth. And Radharani, she freaked out. And she screamed, "Aye!" She's arched her back just like a bow, and her ponytail hung down just like the string of that bow. And she was, "Aye!" like that. And the bee had flown right past Madhumangal, who was standing guard at the gate, but he was sound asleep as per usual. So he heard Radharani screaming. So he immediately came running with his cowherd stick. And he saw this bee just buzzing around Radharani's face. So he took a stick and began swatting at that bee. Suddenly that bee began to notice there's unexpected turbulence. Fasten your seatbelts. So he decided to get out of there. And he took off back down the Kunj tunnel, and Madhumangal was behind him, chasing him with his stick all the way out the Kunj tunnel. So when the king of the bumblebees was gone, Madhumangal came running back, and he said, "Oh, now Madhusudan is gone. He will never return. Now Madhusudan is gone. He will never return." He was very joyful. Madhusudan also means bee. Madhusudan also means Krishna. Now even in union, there's a type of viraha, separation, called fear of separation. Now we're together, but soon we'll have to part. So even in union, there's a type of viraha, special type of viraha. Prem is such an ecstatic thing we can't even begin to understand. So when Radharani heard, she's sitting right next to Krishna at the beautiful kund, Sarovar, but she heard Madhusudan is gone, he will never return. That fear of separation expanded so deeply within her heart, she could no longer see. She was sitting right next to Sri Krishna. She began to cry, "Oh Sham Sundar, oh Prananath, where are you? Where are you?" She began to cry. And Krishna, hearing Radharani crying, that fear of separation expanded within his heart. He was no longer able to see Radharani sitting right next to him. And he began to call out, "Oh Radhe, where have you gone? Oh Radhe," he began to cry. And both of them were crying and their tears were falling to the ground. Pit 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 pit. Both of their stream of tears joined together and flowed into this lake. All the Sakhis were astounded. Radha and Krishna are sitting right next to each other. They can't even perceive each other's presence. They didn't know what to do. So they all began to chant, "Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare." And suddenly Radha and Krishna became aware of each other's presence. And Krishna began to consider one thing, that even in my presence, Radharani feels so much pain. By seeing me, she feels so much ecstasy. When she's separated from me, she feels so much pain. And all the time, her prem is increasing and increasing by my presence. And the same time, the pain is also increasing in my absence. If I stay here any longer, then she will suffer so much. And now is the time for me to go. Pritranaya sadhunam vinashaya, the second half of my duty to kill all the demons. I can't do it here in Braj. The Brijbasis, all they have is little bows and arrows. We need elephants and horses and cavalry and swords and shields. I'll have to go to a big kingdom somewhere to do this. So he considered all these things within his heart. And this is one of the very last Leelas of Braj. Next day, good old Uncle Akrur came with a chariot. We don't want to go into that Leela, the Brijbasis don't like Krishna going up, but we'll tell something interesting about that. That Akrur, Kans, he had already sent so many demons to kill Krishna, and all those demons were killed. So he was thinking somehow or other he has to finish him off. So he got this idea to invite him to a wrestling match. And then, because they're just little boys, this Chanura Mustika will crush them to death and finish them off. If not, first he'll send Kuvalayapida. So many things he had ideas. So, but how to get them here to Mathura? If he sends invitation, the Brijbasis will be suspicious. So he thought, good old Uncle Akrura, if I send him, no one will doubt his word. Now how to get Akrura to go? Akrura will understand my idea. So Kansadi was very clever. He made a brand new chariot, all covered in gold and velvet and beautiful flag and laces of pearls over the umbrella over the top, and everything sparkling new. Because when you get a new car, it's so fun, driving the new car, there's a new car smell, and you rev up the engine, it's so much fun, right? So he thought this way he would entice Akrura on the chance that Akrura gets to drive this new chariot. Actually, Krishna had inspired him to think like that, because if he would have sent his own chariot, this would have been improper. That Krishna ride on the chariot of Kans. We can't imagine such a thing. We never want to use the things of the Lord. Or offer the Lord some used thing, actually is what we want to say. Used by somebody else. So then he sent Akrura with this brand new chariot. We won't get into that Leela now, that's too painful. So around Prem Sarovar, there's just on the western side of Prem Sarovar, there's a beautiful little Radha Govinda temple, run by some nice babas there. And then on the north side of Prem Sarovar, there's a beautiful temple. Not a beautiful temple, a small temple. But the most incredible deities are there, Radha, Prem Bihari. And he has these eyes, if you would have seen the moon a few evenings ago, just like that. Just a little bit, almost like an upside down comma. So, all made out of mother of pearl. Beautiful. Most enchanting eyes you'll ever see. Incredible temple. Radha Prem Bihari, run by a very beautiful family of Brijbasis. The old guy used to be an Ayurvedic doctor who took care of the temple, Lakshman. He was always promising me land there in Prem Sarovar in case we wanted to start ISKCON Prem Sarovar. If you're interested to become the president of ISKCON Prem Sarovar, after the lockdown of course, then you can contact me. So anyway, very nice. Now his son Giridhari is there taking care of the deities. And just, you'll never see eyes like this. So beautiful eyes are there. And many other saints have their bhajan kutirs in this place. Then just down the road a little ways, there's a beautiful temple of Radha Govinda Chandra Dev. This was built by one king. Has beautiful, ample grounds with a whole beautiful garden. You have to walk way inside. Beautiful manicured gardens are there, and this beautiful temple inside, and beautiful deities of Radha Govinda Chandra, about this big. They're beautiful, all beautiful white carving is there. Exquisite place, and behind flower gardens are all around behind. Very beautiful place. This is just on the corner of Prem Sarovar. So since we're at Prem Sarovar, we'll go across the river. But anyway, we just want to mention that this Prem Sarovar is such a special place. We can't even imagine. It is made from the tears of Prem in the most ecstatic separation, fear of separation. It is a mixture of Radha and Krishna's tears of separation. So we'll take some of that water on our head, that maybe someday we'll be able to understand all these very high topics. So on the other side of Jamuna, in fact in the old days, you had to go across if it was summertime, there was a pontoon bridge that would go across, and after the rainy season starts, then you had to get a boat and go across. And you get across to the other side, and you have to walk through the fields for a couple of 3 kilometers or so. Quite a long walk. And if you asked anybody for Maan Sarovar, all the villagers would just look at you with blinking eyes. If you met a very clever villager, he said, "Oh, Radharani, you want to go to Radharani? That way, follow that path, go that way." Because amongst the villagers, the place was known as Radharani. It was very difficult to get there. Even you had to go all the way around through Mathura, cross the Mathura bridge, then come around to the road to Aligarh, get at Raya, you turned left and you went down through the fields and you got this dirt road and you finally came to Maan Sarovar. Now they built a Pakka pool across the Jamuna, and there's a little link road right off of the Pakka pool road that goes straight to Maan Sarovar. Now, unfortunately, that has made it into a picnic place, so we see lots of plastic and wastic and everything there. Before it was so natural place. And huge Sarovar is there. And what happened was there was one Vaishnav yogi named Asuri Rishi. Asuri Rishi, he was living on another dweep, just like we're here on the Jambu Dweep. You know, when you go to Radhakund and you go down to take some water, then the Panda comes and he chants all his mambo jumbo, Jambu Dweepe, Bharat Khande, Mathura Mandale, Radhakund Stite. So we're on the Jambu Dweep. So he was on another dweep, maybe Plaksha Dweep, I can't remember just now. And he was a Vaishnav yogi, so he was meditating on the form of the Lord within his heart, the form of Lord Vishnu within his heart. And he was actually seeing the form of the Lord within his heart. Sometime at the end of Dwapar Yuga, Lord disappeared from his heart. And he was so surprised, he tried to meditate again. he couldn't see the Lord in his heart. He became very upset. What's going on? So he's a powerful yogi. He went over to Swetadweep. Sweta means white. The white island in the ocean of milk, where Kshirodakshay Vishnu is. And he got there to Swetadweep and he saw Lord Anantashesh was lying there, but no Kshirodakshay Vishnu. And he asked all the residents of Swetadweep, where's the Lord? He said, we don't know. He's here a minute ago. Well, where did he go? I don't know. He was here a few minutes ago. Now he became more upset. He can't see the Lord in his heart. He can't see him in Swetadweep. So then he went to Badrinath. And in Badrinath, he saw all the pujaris running around doing their services very happy. Happily doing their services. But no, Badrinarayan was not there. And he asked all the pujaris, where's the Lord? I said, I don't know. He's here a minute ago. Well, Kidhar chala gaye Bhagwan? I don't know. He was here a minute ago. So he can't see the Lord in his heart. He's not in Swetadweep. He's not in Badrinath. Now he was really upset. So he was very powerful. He went all the way up to Vaikuntha. In Vaikuntha he saw many people just like the form of his Lord, with 4 arms, beautiful yellow garments, and beautiful golden ornaments and everything. But he didn't see anyone who had that golden streak of Srivats on his chest, or that Kaustubha mani hanging on his neck. And he asked the residents of Vaikuntha, where's the Lord? They said, you don't know? No, I don't know. You don't know? No, I don't know. You don't know? No, I don't know. Now it's the end of Dwapara Yuga. He's taken his form as a cowboy, his incarnation as a cowboy on the earth, in Vrindavan. Of course, the Vaikuntha people, they think like that, so we'll leave them alone in their thoughts. Anyway, Prabhupada explains that when the Bhagwan Brajendanandan Sham Sundar appears, Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam, all the avatars and expansions of the Lord merge within him. So he left his heart, he left Swetadweep, he left everywhere. They all merged within that Brajendanandan Sham Sundar. So now he got the cue. So he went to Vrindavan. He arrived just at the time of the rasa dance, and he found all the gopis, it was evening time, and all the gopis were running around mad. Where is Sham Sundar? Where did he go? They were running hither and thither. Oh, Prananath, where are you? Where are you? They were so absorbed in separation. Somebody pretended to lift Govardhan hill. Somebody played Putana. Someone sucked her breast. Someone became Shakatasura. Somebody came Trinarvata. They were so lost in separation. They were imitating the pastimes. Everybody in Vrindavan is also looking for Krishna and they can't find him. Now he really became upset. So he went off to Kailash to see Lord Shiva. And he got there to Lord Shiva. And he told him the whole story. And he was crying. And Lord Shiva began to laugh. It's not funny. He said, no, you went to the right place. Krishna is now in Vrindavan. But from what you tell me, this is the most auspicious time. This means Maharas is going to take place. Come, let's go. And he grabbed Asuri Rishi's hand. And they ran off to Vrindavan. When they got to Vrindavan, Vrindadevi stopped them at the gate. He said, during Rasa Leela, no male person can enter. And Lord Shiva and Asarari were struck with sorrow. But Vrindadevi told them, no need to worry. What happened was there was a wonderful pastime just a while ago. That Krishna was with all the gopis on the bank of the Jamuna. In the evening, the full moon was shining, stars were twinkling, breeze was blowing, the lilies were blooming. Lotuses closed in the nighttime. But for Krishna, they opened anyway. Every beautiful fragrance of the lotus, and Malati and Madhavi, Kadamba was in the air. And all the gopis, they were waiting for Srimati Radharani. Now legend has it that the ladies are always late. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that legend has it. Anyway. So Radharani was busy doing her makeup. She didn't come. So everybody was wondering, where's Srimati Radharani? After a while, Krishna began to dance with all the gopis in her. They stopped waiting. And he was dancing with all the gopis on the side of the Jamuna, in the soft sands of the Jamuna. Finally, Radharani appeared from a distance. She saw that Krishna is dancing with so many gopis, having a good time. And she got struck. She became struck. That I have given up everything for this fellow. I've given up my name and reputation. I've given up my position in society. I've given up the respect of my elders. I've given up everything for this fellow, and he's taken my everything and just trampled it under his feet. He doesn't care for me at all. And she crossed over the Jamuna, and she went to a grove of trees and sat down in a little kunj and began to weep. Pit-a-pit, pit-pit, pit-a-pit, pit-pit, pit-pit, pit-a-pit, 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 pit-pit, pit-a-pit, pit-pit, pit-a-pit, pit-a-pit. She wept so many tears, a little stream began to form. And the stream ran down to a little depression, and gradually a whole lake of tears of Maan. Maan means you take a little pride, just like you remember from Manadena, to give respect. Manadena. Amanina, Manadena. So you take some pride and some tears, crocodile tears, and some coquettishness and some cleverness. You mix it all together like an artist, you get Man. So this is called Man. Anger, you put some anger. That was the main ingredient, anger. So Radharani, when she's upset with Krishna, she does Man Leela. So Man means the heart. Man with a long A means anger. So these were tears of Man. Meanwhile, we know from Chaitanya Charitamrita that even with millions of gopis, Krishna can't be satisfied without Srimati Radhika. So he began to ask everyone, where's Radharani? She hasn't come. So we don't know. So Lalita Visakha, they began to search everywhere for Radharani. A little chatiki bird with his tail, he indicated across the Jamuna. So Lalita Visakha, they crossed the Jamuna. And suddenly, as they were walking, they saw a lake where there was no any lake before. And just by seeing that lake, tears filled their eyes. They can understand this is not ordinary water. This is not ordinary lake. And they saw a little stream flowing from inside the kunj. They followed that little stream and they found this very upset Radharani sitting there, weeping and weeping. And they told Radharani, you have to come quick. Krishna can't eat, he can't sleep, he can't drink. He's going to give up his life if you don't come. And Radharani said, this fellow, he's not only black on the outside, he's black on the inside, he's black through and through. I'm not going to ever have anything to do with this black fellow. So Lalita Visakha, they went back, they told Krishna, it's very difficult, we cannot break her mind, she's very upset. So Krishna crossed over the Jamuna, he came there to that place. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, on whose feet all the demigods, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, they're all worshipping on his feet. He began to massage the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. We just imagine the position of Radharani, even Krishna is massaging on her feet. And she's saying, get up, go, get out here, I don't have anything to do with you. And Krishna was just, and she's holding her eyes and she's looking the other direction, but from the corner of the corner of the corner of the corner of the corner eye, she's seeing Krishna. So suddenly this little tear began to roll down Krishna's cheek. It got to the edge of his cheek and fell. Now tears of joy are cold, but tears of sorrow were very warm. This little tear fell down and ping, touched Srimati Radharani's foot. As soon as she felt that tear of Krishna on her foot, she could no longer maintain her mind. So then they went to enjoy the rasa dance. So Vrindadevi told us, Lord Shiva, you go across, you take a bath in that lake, you will get not only form of gopi, you will get gopi bhav. Because we're not interested in changing body, we're interested in changing heart consciousness. You will get gopi bhav. So Lord Shiva and Asarari, they went there, they became beautiful gopis. They came back to the Rasarina. Vrindadevi established Lord Shiva, Gopeswar on one side of the Rasarina. And Krishna noticed this beautiful gopi has come. So he went there and he said, "Hail Gopishwari." Now Radharani heard that. And if there's any Gopishwari, it's me. Who's he calling Gopishwari? So she made angry mudra. You know angry mudra? Hands are on the hips and toe is tapping. So Krishna, he saw the angry mudra of Radharani. He said, "Don't you see? Our great devotee, Lord Shiva, has come as a gopi to enjoy the rasa dance." And she looked at that gopi. She saw around that gopi's neck, big snake is there. So if you ever go to Bamsivat, you'll see in one corner, there's this Gopeshwar Mahadev's very beautiful gopi with a snake around her neck. Then she understood in this way. So this lake became known as Maan Sarovar. And if you ever go there, it's still somewhat nice, natural place. Some certain organizations are trying to clean it up and keep it nice and natural again. Beautiful, huge Kadamba tree is there. So many, even in front of the temple, there's a beautiful temple there. Big round temple, instead of square temple, it's a round temple. And it's the only temple where instead of Radharani Didi, there's a Radharani Shila. And our friend Rajendra, he's the pujari, he hardly ever lets us to get picture. One time he let us get picture. We have it in one of our albums there. There's this beautiful Radharani Shila. And
you can see
when we got that picture and we blew it up, then we could see her eyes are there, her eyebrows are there, beautiful smile is there, everything is there, very beautiful face. And behind that temple there's another large temple. And of course behind is a kunj. You can see that kunj is still there with all piluf trees bending over. And on the other side of the temple there's a large temple, and you go up and there's a beautiful painting. And you see that painting, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is massaging the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. She's holding her hand like this, trying not to see him. But in that picture you can see from the corner of 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 her eyes, she's seeing Krishna massaging her feet. Very beautiful places there. Wonderful place. Sometimes on Prikama we take our prasadam in this peaceful, beautiful lake is there. Now beautiful wall is around that lake. And beautiful ghat was there. It was all broken up ghat now. Some Goswami has made beautiful ghats and beautiful place. It's all fixed up very nicely.
in your book the picture is there. In your book the picture is there.
In my book, Braj Leela Part 2, you can see the picture. We got that picture. That picture is there in Braj Leela Part 2, which you can find on Amazon, and maybe soon we'll even have it in Kindle on Amazon. Right now it's as a book. But so anyway, Jai Jai Sri Radhe Sham. So again, we'll join you tomorrow at 6 o'clock now. This is a new time. Luckily our phone hasn't overheated today, so we didn't get any interruption. You can thank our dear Arjun for taking care of all the technical aspects of this whole thing. And how many people are there today?
Right now 118.
118. I know that it's seen by many people. We see the statistics, 2.1 views and all that, but right now there's 118 online. So we thank you very much. Please remain safe. Please increase your sadhana, and we'll meet you here again tomorrow at same time, 6 o'clock. Hare Krishna.